Lieutenant Howard distinguished himself while serving as platoon sergeant of an American Vietnamese platoon which was on a mission for a missing American soldier in enemy-controlled territory, the Republic of Vietnam. The platoon had left its helicopter landing zone and was moved out on its mission when it was attacked by an estimated two-company force. During the initial engagement, First Lieutenant Howard was wounded, his weapon destroyed by a grenade explosion. First Lieutenant Howard saw his platoon leader had been wounded seriously and was exposed to fire. Although unable to walk and weaponless, the First Lieutenant Howard unhesitatingly crawled through the hail of gunfire to retrieve his wounded leader. As First Lieutenant Howard was administering first aid and removing the officer's equipment, an enemy bullet struck one of the ammunition pouches on his belt, detonating several magazines off. First Lieutenant Howard momentarily sought cover and then realizing that he must rejoin the platoon, which had been disorganized by enemy attack. He again began dragging the seriously wounded officer towards the platoon area. Through his outstanding example of indomitable courage and bravery, First Lieutenant Howard was able to rally the platoon into an organized defense force with complete disregard for his own safety. First Lieutenant Howard crawled from position to position, administering first aid to the wounded, giving encouragement to the defenders, and directing their fire on the encircling enemy for 3.5 hours. Successfully, they repulsed enemy attacks and were finally in sufficient control to permit the landing of rescue helicopters. Howard personally supervised the loading of his men and did not leave the bullet-swept landing zone until all were aboard safely. First Lieutenant Howard's gallantry in action, his complete devotion to the welfare of his men at the risk of his own life, were in keeping with the highest traditions of military service and reflect great credit on himself, his unit, and the United States Army. General Orders, Department of Army, General Orders Number 16, March 24th, 1971. Action date took place December 30th, 1968. United States Army, 5th Special Forces Group Airborne, Division 1st Special Forces.